How to avoid burnout while building business? There has to be time for everything. On social media, people will tell you that, at the inception of it all, or if you want to have a successful business, you have to work around the clock. That is a lie, though. That is a lie. There has to be a period of time, let's say 2 to 3 hours you put on that business. And majority of the time you are resting, you're planning, you're strategizing. But there has to be a time block. A time block is time management. From the moment you woke up in the morning until you go to bed at night, everything has to be. You need time management. Everything has to be planned. There has to be a time you respond to emails. There has to be a time you reach out to potential customers. There has to be the time you're doing your feasibility studies, your market research. There has to be the time you're doing your accounts. There has to be the time you're managing, and you need to have time for sleep. In previous contents I mentioned that I take naps in the afternoon. I take 1 to 1.5 hours in the afternoon. Most business owners will say, why are you sleeping in the afternoon? I do. I take siesta. It's called siesta. At night, I sleep around 6.5 hours to 7 hours. I sleep around 12 a.m. and I wake up around 6:30, 7 o'clock. But then I sleep again in the afternoon. It's good for my mind. You need to have a plan like that so you don't burn out. Get me? You need to train your nervous system to get to the level of, okay, you can go more hours. I can take 10 meetings in a day. I can take 5 meetings. If your nervous system is calling for 2 meetings, you want to stick to two meetings so you can see results. Am I making sense to you? Be well, guys.